Hey everybody, this is Alzorath, and welcome to a little bit of a mini-series I decided to do since there were a lot of people asking questions about how to start a video game channel and stuff like that. And this isn't a new phenomenon, it's been around for quite a while. People have wanted to start gaming channels ever since they started becoming successful. And they are the largest, basically numbers-wise, group of people on YouTube. Even though a lot aren't as big as, say, some vlogs or something like that, they make up a larger percentage of the population of content creators. Obviously, this makes it a lot more competitive, meaning you need to make your stuff be rather solidly made, clear, nice graphics, nice audio, that kind of stuff. When I started out, I had an idea on some of these things, but most of it's been self-learning. I looked through a bunch of videos. I looked through basically the videos of my favorite YouTubers. I asked questions, and I got some answers, but nothing really clear and concise. And while there are basically tutorials out there, they're usually either dated or the audio is really questionable, and they're really hard to understand. And I decided maybe I could do something a little bit different and provide a decent series for people interested in recording. Now, in this first episode, I'm just going to introduce what I plan to do, what I plan to cover in the initial episodes. If there's more that you'd like to hear about, be sure to comment below. Be sure to, even if you want to just inbox me on YouTube, that's fine. Or even on the forums where I'm going to post these at, in the hopes of, well, helping people. There's a few things I want to cover in this particular episode, though, and that's basically the 3 things you really need to know about before you even decide to do a channel for any real length of time. And that is basically, what does it cost to get the equipment, how much time is it going to take, and do you have the drive to really keep doing it? Now, with the first one, honestly, gaming channels are some of the cheapest ones to start. Right up there with a basic vlog. Basic gaming setup, if you already have the computer and you already have the game, it's going to be about maybe $150 to $200 for all the recording software, all the editing software, all of a good headset. It's going to be about $150 to $200. It's not super cheap, but it's reasonable. It's cheaper than a console. So it's not that bad. A vlog, on the other hand, would require basically a camera and a mic, which the cameras are about the cost, can range from cheap, like the cost of the recording software, up to ungodly expensive. It just depends on what your needs there. But yeah, I'm going to focus mainly on gaming here. If you'd like to know about the other types of videos and how to create them, maybe in the future, because I will be doing some live footage stuff eventually. Not soon. I need time to get the lighting and all that stuff rigged up. As far as the time it's going to take you to do these things, most people go into it thinking, oh, they'll just spend the time recording the game and just ship it right up to YouTube. That's not exactly on the ball. Honestly, if you're going to want to release a 20-minute episode a day, you're going to easily be spending 2 or 3 hours a day doing that content if you want it to be up to fairly high quality standards, because your first take isn't always going to be your best take. So you may have to do something more than once. If it's a Let's Play where you're doing it basically live vocals over the game itself, you're going to have to do some preparation. You're going to have to do some test runs before you even start the Let's Play and stuff like that, so it's at least reasonable to follow along and you don't have a lot of dead time. Now, there are first impressions out there, and I'll leave those for the people who do them, and I may even do some myself, but that's a different kind of beast. We're talking about consistent YouTube content. So, whenever you're starting out, don't hold yourself to 1 episode a day. You're going to burn out, especially if you have a full-time job or go to school or any of those things that take up a huge chunk of your time. Stick to maybe 2 or 3 times a week, consistent content, And that consistent content thing is what brings me to the last little point I was going to bring up, and that is the drive aspect of things. Honestly, you'll need to do it at least 3 months, because if you just start out and you're just doing it for like a week or two and then you get bored of it and then you decide to go back for a week or two, you're never going to pick up that habit. If you can consistently release the content and have a schedule for about 3 months or longer for a stretch of time, it'll start to feel weird not to do it, if that makes sense. It's like if you go to school 5 days a week and you get used to it. And the days you're not there, it kind of feels weird or different, or you're excited in some cases to like, yay, no school. But it's definitely something you notice in your life. That's what you kind of need to make the process of making videos to, so you can maintain that drive for the long run. Now, this isn't for everybody. It's not just playing games. It's playing games, editing, thinking about what you're going to say, thinking about content, thinking about what sets you apart from the rest of the channels. Now, I myself am working on that last part, setting myself apart from other channels. So we'll see how that goes. I know I enjoy the other parts of it, and I know I'm going to stick with it for the long haul. That's just what I'm going to do. But this isn't about me. This is about you guys. Though, let's see, I've covered the 3 things that you need to really focus on starting out. In the future episodes, I will be covering specific software, specific hardware needs, not necessarily specific hardware products, if you will. I'm trying to think of the proper term there. Because I only have experience with limited amount of the actual hardware. This is because, well, I'm not rich. I work retail. So I afford what I can, and I work on this in whatever time I can spare. I'll also be covering some of the tips and tricks with these software. I am self-taught in them. This means I don't know all the nuances of all the software, but I know things that will help you get the result that you want with a little bit of hassle, with very little hassle, if you will. Probably didn't phrase that great, but yeah. That's basically what I'll be covering the first few episodes. I'll be covering 2 types of recording software for sure, and that is Fraps and DxTory. These are the 2 types of software I honestly recommend, because Fraps is a really plug-and-play friendly, whereas DxTory is very adjustable, very manipulatable. It's very good for limited resources systems. Like if you have an older computer, DxTory will often be better than Fraps. As far as editing software, I'm only going to start with Vegas. If there's enough interest, I'll be looking at other editing software, because I'm doing that right now for myself. And I may cover it in future episodes, such as Premiere or some of the free software out there. I'm forgetting the names of them. Virtual Dub, I think, is one of them. There's pros and cons to each in both of these categories, so you'll have to make the decision on your own as to which one's good for your setup and your needs. I'll also be covering a little bit in the audio recording aspect of things. I'll likely have an episode specifically over video and specifically over audio. That's 2 episodes. Just because there's a lot of problems I see on a lot of new channels where they have, well, the easiest way to say it is shady audio. Where it's either grainy, they have a lot of pops, they have either horrible balancing issues with the audio, which is a large problem with Fraps, which I'll cover then. But that's basically the things that I'll be covering in the near future. I'm rambling now, but yeah. That's basically what this series is going to be. It's not going to override or prevent the production of any of my other series, because this is definitely a side project to help the YouTube community as well as the gaming community really get a little bit easier access to creating their videos. But yeah, I'm going to leave it off there. I'll start production on the future episodes really soon, over this next week most likely. And yeah, keep gaming, have fun, peace out, and this has been Alzorath, and I look forward to seeing you on future episodes of this. Be sure to like, comment, subscribe, and definitely do the comment part on things you'd like to know. And yeah, I'll see you guys next time. Peace.